I started off just being that obedient child. My patient schedule was just one patient back to back to back to back.
Tea versus coffee,
that
right?
there is a specific bacteria. We have trillions of microbes in our body.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And today we have Jamilia Weeks Bowers from My Remedy Functional Health Nursing, right?
Yes.
She has a Master of Public Health from the George Washington University, Master of Science in Nursing with Family Nurse Practitioner, certification from Western University of Health Sciences, background in public health, family practice, and dermatology. Wow, that is crazy. Jamilia, come on. This is what a resume. Tell us a little bit about you and what is your story?
Well, first of all, Louis, thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm excited to be here. And well, my story, it has some zigs and some zags, but
Yep.
in the end, I think I come around full circle. And I'll just start with my family. I'm a second-generation American. My grandparents on both sides had no more than a sixth grade education. My parents both grew up in poverty. They met in medical school, got married, and they were able to form the life that they never imagined they would have, the American dream.
Yeah.
They both started their own medical practices. When I came along and started college, they handed the baton to me. I was supposed to be the person to continue the family legacy, and I was supposed to surpass the previous generation.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, that was an incredible amount of pressure for me. I started off just being that obedient child. I started college pre-med, intending to go to medical school, but there was just something in me saying, is this what you want to do? Is this really what you want to do? Or are you just trying to follow, what your parents expect of you?
Yeah.
And towards the end of my fourth year, I just had to be honest with myself. I said to my parents, I don't think I'm going to go to medical school. I know you guys must be very disappointed, but I just need to be true to myself and figure this out on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated from college, I had $200 in my pocket and a plane ticket, and I went to Europe. So that typical cliche story, you know.
What part of Europe?
France.
Oh, okay.
I was in France. When I landed, I didn't speak one word of French. It was one of the most courageous things I've ever done in my whole life. But I did enroll in a university of language arts for non-native speakers.
Uh-huh.
After about 9 months, I was able to get my certification in the French language, and I survived by teaching English. You're raising your eyebrows. It's not impressive.
That's impressive.
The French, not very easy on you. But I had to learn it in order to survive. And anybody in that situation would have to, adapt and just learn the language.
Yeah.
In order to negotiate rates for my room, at somebody's house, I had to learn to speak French. To know where I'm going, I had to be able to ask somebody for directions. To have a social circle, to have friends, I had to force myself to speak it. I'm an introvert, very shy. I just kind of stay on the outlines. And this was like the first thing. This is the first intentional thing that I did to try and discover who I am as a person.
Was it easy for you to learn the French language?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And it's many, many years later. And I don't want to age myself. And I have to say that I have lost a lot of it because I don't have the opportunity to use it anymore. But I just learned it out of necessity. And if you call that the easiest way to learn a language, then there you go.
I'm from Lebanon. So in
Yeah,
Lebanon,
I understand that.
in Lebanon, all kids from beginning, they learn in school French, English, and Arabic.
Vous parlez français alors?
Not anymore. So
Non plus.
I left Lebanon really when I was young, during the war. But a lot of my friends, they speak it fluently.
Yes.
And I wish I still did. It's just not an easy language.
It's not.
It's beautiful language.
It is a beautiful language. It's not an easy language, but if your survival depended on it, you'll learn it.
That's right. So then what did you do when you moved to France and you learned the language and then you got your certification?
Yes, I did nothing with that certification. I would say it served me down the line where I ended up working for a couple non-governmental organizations. But just to rewind a little bit, after France, I was there for a little under 2 years. I ended up back in the United States. And I was still on that journey, like, what am I going to do with my life? That is when I enrolled in my first master's program, public health. I had that travel bug, from living in Europe. And I was able to set it up where I worked for a couple of NGOs that focused on health and development in sub-Saharan Africa. My role was in regulatory research compliance. So basically any sort of research programs that these non-governmental organizations were conducting abroad, I was the person to make sure that they met the ethical standards that federally qualified research studies should hold up to.
Right.
It was important, but it was administrative. And the only thing about that type of job that resonated with me was the travel.
Okay.
Everything else was just work,
Yeah.
So
But fast forward from France, you moved to the United States,
yes,
right?
and
Back to the United States. What year was that?
And that was around 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so since then, you were in the United States in Temecula or you
No.
moved around?
So I moved around.
Okay.
Mostly between Washington, D.C. and San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from 2003
hmm
to now, how did you develop your course and your business?
I told you there are some zigs and some zags.
Yes, always.
So skip forward to when I started my business.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. After 10 years or so of working as a nurse practitioner, I saw that there was a need. My first job as a nurse practitioner was basically baptism by fire. I was the sole medical provider on a mobile clinic, and we drove to the most dangerous parts of South LA and East LA, and we set up shop in homeless encampments. And we would go there 2 days a week routinely and basically see the same patients. They were regulars. That was one position that I found fulfilling because here I had the one-on-one and I was able to hear very, very interesting stories from the people that I worked with. And then there was the continuity of care. I would see them every week and see if they've gotten better and see if they've gotten worse. So I was thinking, this is where I like to be. It was only 10 or so scheduled patients a day, so it wasn't very stressful. It was really building bonds. My husband, who was my fiance at the time, had concerns that we didn't have security. So there were just 4 of us, the bus driver, the administrative person who did the intake for the patients, myself, and the medical assistant.
Okay.
And we had no security anywhere. But our team was very valued to the people that we served. And we never felt any, sign of need for security,
Right.
But eventually, we were looking to move down to the San Diego area anyway. Life was very hectic. And so I eventually got a job at the Fallbrook, a community center in Fallbrook, health center in Fallbrook.
Okay.
That is where reality hit. My patient schedule was just one patient back to back to back to back. I had 10 minutes with the patient. They kept on coming back and they weren't getting better. With 10 minutes seeing a patient, all I could do was just write a prescription and just hope for the best. There was no time to talk about lifestyle. There was no time to talk about diet. There was just no time for education.
Right.
And we know that the biggest killers today, like cancer and heart disease, these can be reversed by not reversed, but these can be prevented by certain lifestyle changes and measures. That is where I saw the need. And fast forward a few years, I was working telehealth for a dermatology company. They announced their 3rd round of layoffs within a 12-month period. And that was my time to just make an exit because I felt like I was halfway there.
Right.
With what I wanted to do.
So what year was that?
That was 2000. That was actually last year.
Last year.
That was last year when I took a voluntary severance. I'm very new. I am less than a year into this.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that you've interviewed, they're seasoned entrepreneurs.
No,
I'm
this is exactly
very new to
why I
this.
have you here, because
Yeah.
you may inspire somebody that is starting their business right now.
Right.
Or, we want to know how you did it and why, and how can you inspire others to just go for it? What made you go for it?
That was my in. I took the voluntary severance. During the past couple of years, I had already taken the initiative to become certified in functional medicine because I was just looking for more tools to give to my patients at that time. I took the voluntary severance, and that is when I formed my Remedy Functional Health Nursing Corporation. I opened my doors the end of January of this year.
That's my birthday.
Oh,
by the way.
My birthday's in January too.
No way. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. We're going to have to celebrate together. All right. So you open your business this year.
Yes.
Okay. So you teach on your gut health is the foundation of your overall health and vitality.
Yes.
Let's unpack that some more and talk about it.
Absolutely. Over the past 10 years, there's been a lot of research about gut health. We know that our gut health is connected and affects virtually every other system in our body.
Yeah.
For example, did you know that 70% of your immune system is in your gut?
No.
Did you know that there is a specific bacteria in your gut? It's a good bacteria. It's called Akkermansia. It produces GLP-1 hormone. That hormone, that same hormone that everybody's paying hundreds of dollars for,
Yes.
thousands of dollars if, depending on how long you're taking it, your gut produces that hormone naturally. Your gut is related to your skin health, your metabolic health. I mean, you name it, your gut is involved. So that is the reason why I focus on the gut when I'm implementing my programs.
Yes.
It's the lowest hanging fruit, and it's not even rocket science. I use specialized labs. One of my favorites is called the GI map. Basically, it maps out your whole gut microbiome, and it shows all of your good bacteria. It names them. You can actually pinpoint the reason for certain symptoms that you've been experiencing by having this information in the lab. For example,
I was going to ask you, for example.
Yeah. I had a client. She was suffering from extreme fatigue, and she went to the doctor. Her doctor told her all of her labs are normal except her iron was low.
Okay.
So he told her to take iron supplements. She took the iron supplements and she didn't feel better. So she went back to the doctor and they asked more questions. And she said, oh, well, I have very heavy periods. And they said, oh, well, let's put you on birth control to have lighter periods. So in functional health, the difference is what we would be asking is, okay, do we see any connections here between the body systems? And number two, why is the iron low? Okay, maybe it's because of the heavy periods, but why is she having heavy periods?
Right.
So we peel back layer and layer and layer until we get to the root cause. Well, when she came to see me, I took a comprehensive intake from her, and that's when I decided to do a gut test. We found a lot of things, but the biggest thing was
what
her
does
gut.
the gut test
So
consist of?
It consists of, it's a stool sample that is very convenient. We send it to your house. You provide your stool sample, you drop off the gut test at your local FedEx, and then the results are analyzed, and you get the results back within 10 to 14 business.
And then they follow up with you to get the results.
And they follow up with me to get the results, exactly. And so with this specific client, her gut test showed a lot of inflammation. When the gut lining is inflamed, you can't absorb your nutrients. So she wasn't able to absorb her iron from the food that she was eating.
So how did you fix that problem with the inflammation?
So with the inflammation, in order to fix it, you have to know what's causing the inflammation.
Okay.
And we saw that she had an overgrowth of some of the bad bacteria in her gut that was causing that inflammation.
Interesting.
So there is a lot of antibiotic use in conventional medicine. And what is not common knowledge is there are many herbal antimicrobials that are proven to get rid of certain infections, and they're as effective as some of these pharmaceutical antibiotics. but they're gentler on your gut microbiome. They don't wipe everything out. So the way we fixed it was we gave her supplements to support her gut lining. L-glutamine is a big one. And then we gave her some of these herbal antimicrobials to kill off that bad bacteria that was causing all of the chaos and the inflammation in her gut lining. And by month 4, she was starting to feel a lot better. She was less tired because she was able to absorb what she put in her mouth. She was able to absorb the nutrients. So again, it's not rocket science, but it's very, very intentional and data-driven. What I do, we don't do Band-Aid fixes. You know, whatever your gut issue is, it didn't happen overnight, so we can't fix it overnight. What we can guarantee is like we're going to dig and pull back the layers and find that root cause.
So that's what makes you different than a regular doctor.
Yes.
Where they just give you a quick Band-Aid.
Yes.
You know, and give you like a medicine. They're like, okay,
yes.
take this. And if it doesn't work, we'll give you another medicine. If that doesn't work, we'll give you another one.
It's just
I know it happened to me, but you know, but you come to the roots of things and you really fix the problem, hopefully once and for all.
And I am not anti-conventional medicine. There are times when prescription medications are absolutely necessary. My goal is to make it so that we don't get to that point.
Right. Okay, cool. So let's dig deep into your day-to-day. What do you do, right? How do you start your morning? Tell us about your morning routine. So maybe somebody can inspire, like, are you supposed to drink coffee? Are you supposed to drink tea? Are you supposed to drink water? What's the first thing you do in the morning?
My days, I wish I could say that they're very structured and routine, but they're not. My mornings are chaotic. I've got a 7-year-old who wakes up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go at 5:30 in the morning. And then I have a 5-year-old that I have to drag out of bed. It's a battle with brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, putting on your clothes, get out the door. You know, as far as myself, you know, I'm always trying to push self-care. I'm telling, you know, women and moms, we shouldn't put ourselves last. We've got to take care of ourselves. So I try to grab some tea, peppermint tea, ginger tea, boiled eggs, avocado, protein shake. Okay, good to go. Let's start the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how you start your day.
Yes.
So tea versus coffee, right?
Yeah.
What's your take on coffee?
Everything in moderation. I think if you are a person that feels that you need coffee to get through the day, you need to ask yourself, what is the underlying issue?
I have to have my coffee every morning.
Well, how many cups of coffee do you feel like you have to have?
2.
2? Okay. If you feel you have to have it, why? Let's peel back the layers here. The thing about coffee is that it can interrupt your sleep. It can interrupt, you know, your circadian rhythm.
So even if you drink it in the morning, it will interrupt my sleep in the night?
It has an activity window of roughly 5 to 6 hours.
Okay.
So you want to finish your coffee as early as possible.
That's okay.
But if you are a person that enjoys coffee, that is different from a person that says they need coffee. And so that's why you need to ask that underlying question. Why do I need this coffee? Is there something deeper there? And in functional health, we're digging to find that reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come see you. Your next patient. All right. So let's talk about your favorite quote.
Mm-hmm.
And why is that your favorite quote?
Well, so for me, I'm a Christian. And one of the things that gives me inspiration, moves me forward is James 1:5. He who asks for wisdom, just asks the Lord and he will give it freely. And as somebody
That's a beautiful verse.
As somebody who has a lot of book knowledge, you know, going through this world and 2 master's degrees, and I have a lot of knowledge, I'm always asking God, how can I be wise and putting everything together? One thing that I have walked away with, our bodies are wonderfully made. Talking about how our bodies are, how our organ systems are all interconnected, and how our mind and our body and our spirit are all connected is a testament to our Creator. And you know how the Bible says, don't you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit?
That's right.
Your body is not your own. It was paid for with a price. Honor your Father by honoring your body. This is an opportunity for me to spread my faith. And it's is not even that hard because to convince somebody that God, our intentional creator, created our bodies to heal.
Yes.
And our bodies are able to heal itself if we treat it as God's temple. So, I mean, the gut microbiome in itself is just a testament to how purposeful God was in creating us. We have trillions of microbes in our body that work together in synergy to provide protection, to provide nutrients, to provide substances that, quell inflammation that can cause lots of problems later on. So when people understand how everything works together, it's just such an easy way to witness that this didn't happen by chance. This was intelligent design.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that 100%.
Right.
So it's also a lot to do with food, you know?
Yes.
Can you tell the audience what are some of the good food or some of the bad food out there? It's probably really hard for people to be healthy nowadays with all this processed food.
So to answer your question directly, what is good food and what is bad food?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who the person is and when.
Okay.
Some people are not able to eat salad or lots of fiber because it causes them to bloat. And then we have to ask why. And we have tests that tell us why. But for general guidance, it's very unfair to be able to make decisions about what we put into our body. With meat and with vegetables, we have consideration of, what toxins are in these vegetables? There's glyphosate, pesticides that exist in our vegetables. And we know that when we ingest these, this can cause inflammation in our gut. Among a myriad of other things.
Definitely.
And the same with meat, the way that we raise our cattle and what we feed them and the way the body works. Toxins are stored in the fat. You know what I mean? There's people who eat, like there's the carnivore diet, and there's people that, try to get a lot of protein through their meats, but we have to show concern there. Not everybody can afford to buy organic.
That's right.
What do you do? And I don't have all the answers for that because a lot of this is out of our control. So the easiest advice that I can give, if it comes out of a bag, if you have to open a bag, if you have to, take it out of the freezer, if you have to open the can, it's probably not the best nourishing and sustaining food for you.
Hey, that's great advice. All right. What about, juice? Is juice good for you? Because I know they sell like tons of juice out there.
Yes, they do. You're going to find people with different opinions on this. Juice is sugar. Anything that's going to spike your blood sugar is going to spike your insulin. People who have insulin spikes throughout the day who aren't able to control those spikes have a greater chance of developing diabetes in the long run. So we put juice, even though it says no added sugar, the end result is, glucose, a sugar spike in your body. So that's why we limit it.
Okay.
We just limit it.
What's your favorite book and why?
The book I am reading now is called Motivational Interviewing.
Okay.
And that is a book that was introduced to me by one of my coaches. And it's all about, and I don't even want to use the word convincing, because when I came out of traditional medicine, I didn't have to convince anybody about anything. The patients were lined up at the door. But the space that I find myself in now, I need to educate a person about how lifestyle changes, are going to get them from point A to B. And in order to do that, I need to ask them the sort of questions that get them to arrive at that conclusion by themselves. And that is an effective way to get them to buy into the different programs that I have that I know can help them with their symptoms. And so this book, Motivational Interviewing, has just been my go-to in helping me to frame what I do in a way that's digestible to a potential client to understand how this can benefit them.
Got it. So if someone out there listening right now to your story, what would you tell them to inspire them?
Yeah, if it's somebody looking to start their own business, don't wait because there's never going to be the perfect time.
Okay. That's a great advice.
And that's where I got caught. And so if they have that passion and if they've been able to identify that need, just do what you can, when you can, with what you have.
Just Do it, commit, and figure it out as you go.
And be consistent as you go along.
Now you're on your way to success. You have tons of clients. You're helping a lot of people in the way.
That's my
really
goal.
Your passion.
Just to spread the information.
Can you tell everyone where they can reach you? And
Yeah.
maybe tell them your website, etc. A little bit about your program.
So first of all, I have 2 programs. I have my signature 3-month gut health program. And in this gut health program includes comprehensive gut lab testing, plus several sessions with me. Our practice is fully remote, so we meet together via Zoom. I offer a protocol. I offer educational pamphlets to get you through that are specific to your complaints and your symptoms and what your goals are. I also have a 6-month program for people who have issues that are beyond the gut, who probably require some more testing.
Right.
That's not available to them, from their regular primary doctor, but it's still the same type of testing that looks at underlying issues. I can be found at myremedyfh.com, myremedyfh, all one word, .com, and there I offer free 15-minute consultations to see if we're a good fit and if I can help you with your concerns. And once you log onto the website, you'll see right there where you can schedule your consultation.
That's great.
And I'll be
That's
happy
awesome.
to meet you.
All right, so we're going to end it with these fun questions. All right, so coffee or tea?
Tea.
Definitely tea. I know you already said you love tea. What's your favorite tea?
Ginger.
Ooh,
I love ginger tea.
that sounds good. Morning, are you a morning person or a night person?
Okay, so I used to be a night person. I used to work until 2 a.m. and just have all this energy. But then when I found out that the sleep that you get before midnight is the most restorative sleep. Lately, I've been forcing myself to go to bed by 10 p.m. So I'm still a night person by default, but I'm definitely not a morning person. Not a morning person.
So your advice is sleep by 10 o'clock. I have to take that advice from you. What's your favorite motivational quote? One more time.
So I mentioned James 1:5, and I also mentioned, one kind of got me through in the beginning, Arthur Ashe, do what you can with what you have. Do what you can, when you can, what you have.
And one word that describes you as an entrepreneur.
Empowering, because the message that I have is information about your health journey that will empower you to take control over your wellness journey. And I'm just in a position to pass my knowledge on to you.
That's beautiful. Well, Jamilia, thank you so much for coming on the show of What is Your Story? I think you're going to inspire and motivate a lot of people out there. That's really my feeling about it. You guys, thank you again for watching What is Your Story? I'm your host, Louis Sarkis, and see you on the next one.
Thank you, Louis.